This is the Hill Garden in July, part 2. I did part 1, we showed some of the flowers. There's so many flowers blooming in July, I couldn't do it all in one. The video would have gone on too long. So I broke it into 2, and I could really break it into more. Some of the flowers that are blooming now, I'll do in August, In fact, I'm just noticing here, here's the first couple asters blooming. New England asters, and there's a lot of them. There's hundreds, but I have to keep the deer off them because the deer will eat all the new growth, and I won't get any flowers. So I got to put some deer repellent down. This is another species of aster. This is Oldfield aster. This will be all white. So these will be blooming the end of August, beginning of September, when a lot of these other plants are fading. But so we're going to go over a bunch of the plants that are flowering in July. This will be part 2. So I want you to grow some of these plants. I want you to get out there and do some gardening with native plants. They have to be native plants. And you'll be helping the native bees and butterflies, and you'll be helping the planet. You hear me say this over and over. You'll have a sense of purpose. You'll have some meaning in your life because you'll be doing this for future generations after we're gone. So there'll still be bees and butterflies and little birds and other animals around. So, okay, hang on, and I'll show you some of the things that are blooming this month. Beautiful, a lot of beautiful stuff. Here's some swamp milkweed in the garden. I probably already have profiled this, but this is such a pretty patch. And it did have some monarch butterfly caterpillars on it. And they were a good size, so they may have crawled off and went into a chrysalis someplace. I'm hoping. But pretty plant, pretty plant. So this one is well behaved, not like, let me come back a little bit, so sunny. This one is well behaved, not like the common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca. This is Asclepias incarnata. And it has some pretty good sized leaves on it, bigger than what you might see in the garden center. And a botanist told me that that's because this is the eastern subspecies. And which would make sense because I got these seeds in the wild not far from here. It's a swamp milkweed, but it can take it fairly dry. We don't get a lot of water here on this hill, and it's full sun. And these look pretty good. It's the end of July. Asclepias incarnata. Behind it here is some Phlox paniculata genna, which I understand is a natural cultivar. It was found in the wild, possibly North Carolina. I don't remember for sure. But it's a beauty. There's a little skipper butterfly. The deer will eat this. This is really kind of surrounded by big, tall plants, so it's somewhat protected. And I do put some deer repellent around it. But so far, so good. And it does get a lot of butterflies. And pollinating bees. There was just a little bee on it. So this is a nice plant. One of the reasons it's so popular with the butterflies is it has lots of tiny little flowers. So that means lots of nectar. Phlox paniculata genna. It's a good plant. And you can find this in most garden centers. Okay, here's some more Liatris spicata. Gay feather, they call this. This is a little more in bloom than the ones I did in the last video. Very pretty, very cheap. I got 80 bulbs for like 14 bucks. A big box store. Can't beat it. And garden centers sell them cheap like that as well. Some of them have fallen down. This is a pretty steep hill. There's a lot of them here, but I have them other places in the garden as well. And then behind it, there's rattlesnake master. So that's Aringium yuccifolium. And the reason they call it rattlesnake master is that indigenous people used to believe that if you got bit by a rattlesnake, this was a cure. There's a bee on it right now. Pollinators absolutely love this. It's just coming into bloom. These weird little balls. And this is a great plant for a hot, dry spot. I don't know. It's a really nice plant. They call it yuccafolium because the foliage looks like a yucca plant, you know. And it doesn't help with a rattlesnake bite, other than it'll make you vomit, and that might help relieve some of the pain. I don't really know. But rattlesnake master originum yuccafolium is a really nice plant. And this, I bought these as little plants. And you know, I have no connection with Prairie Moon Nursery or Prairie Nursery, but I buy from them. So I got 3 nice size, like 3-inch plants, but nice healthy looking things. And with freight and tax was like $10 a piece. You can't beat it really. And now I have these gorgeous plants. Look at this guy in the back. Look at that. They're so bizarre, but beautiful, you know. Let me get a close-up of one of the flowers. Oh, there we go. There for a minute. I mean, I have an old Android phone, so excuse some of these videos. But anyway, so there's Liatris and Rattlesnake Master growing together. Very nice. And you know, next to them here is stiff goldenrod that I rescued from an area that was getting plowed. And this apparently is a endangered plant in New Jersey. When it comes into bloom, I'll show you. I might do a video just on some of the goldenrods. I probably will when they come into bloom in the fall. Okay, let's see what else we got. So this is a purple cone flower. This is Echinacea, purpureum maybe. I'll have to check that out. Not really native, from what I understand, to New Jersey, but it's in every native plant garden that you come across pretty much, except for the real purists. It's absolutely beautiful. The butterflies and the bees love it. I get lots of big butterflies on it. Monarchs, swallowtails, those kind of butterflies. It's pretty hardy. This particular plant has been here already like 3 years. And I'll show you how big it is. Let me get over there. You know, it's 4.5 feet tall easily. Here's some bees on it now. So this is a great plant. Blooms a long, long time. Very hardy. I haven't had an issue with the deer eating it. Maybe other people have. I think some other people have said they have, but not here. I don't know why. Knock on wood. And I have a lot of it. A couple of this particular one I did not plant. It just showed up here. But I've taken seeds from some of these, and I've grown seedlings, and I move them all around. And I have quite a bit in the garden now. And it's a good thing, because at this time of year in July, there's lots of yellow. There's Rudbeckia. There's false sunflower. There's all kinds of yellow, Vetiver. There's all kinds of yellow plants blooming. So this kind of breaks it up a little bit. You get some nice purple, you know. And the bigger butterflies aren't really into yellow, you know. They like purple and pink. So this is a good plant to have in your native garden. You know, easy to grow from seed. You can collect seed almost anywhere, but if you want to, you can go buy it. There's no reason to buy a plant. So this little seedling, next year we'll have some flowers on it. The year after that, it'll be a big, beautiful plant like this. So it comes quick, you know. Grow some purple coneflower. This is Vetiver pinnata, gray-headed coneflower, I think they call it. Beautiful, right? And behind it is an invasive nodding thistle, which I leave up for like what I think are good reasons. And I'm going to do a video on them, and you'll be able to see why hopefully you'll understand why I leave them. I have some native thistle, Socium discolor, and I have ordered Socium altissima, the tall native thistle. Unfortunately, though, they don't bloom early like this nodding thistle, and there's so many insects that depend on it. This video, anyway, is about the Vetiver, which really pretty. these little bumps coming out on the side, if this is coming in, those are actually the flowers around the base of it. Let's see if I can get a close-up, because it's very interesting. Can you see that? It's a nice plant. And actually, I grew these from seed. I planted the seed. I planted them the winter of 2023. They germinated the spring of 2024, and I planted them here in the garden in the summer of 2024. And here we are, July 2025, and they are beautiful. They're just big, beautiful, full of flowers. They're really nice. Now, this garden, if any of you have been watching my videos, you know I refer to this as the hill garden. So it's on a really steep hill. It's steep. These are kind of up near the top. The ones I have a little bit further down on the hill do kind of flop with the heavy rain, and you know, I don't know how they're going to fare. But the ones up here on fairly level ground we've had some big storms, and as you can see, they're nice and upright. Beautiful. The Tibita pinnata. This is a plant for your garden. It's easy to control. It's not aggressive. It's a good plant. And it gets bees and bumblebees and butterflies. I don't know yet, because this is the first year I've really had it in bloom, but I'm willing to bet the little finches and some of the other little birds are going to eat the seeds from it too. So, okay, let's move on. Okay, so that's some of the flowering plants here in the garden at the end of July. There's more. I'm going to put them in the August video, but I just wanted to break this up, the first part of July, second part of July, just because there's so much stuff blooming. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hang on, I have a little more to say. So the object of this video and some of the others that I've done is to show you that retirees, or anybody, doesn't have to even be a retiree, can make a difference to the planet and a difference to their life by helping the biodiversity of your local area, and then in effect, you know, a bigger area, and eventually the whole planet. So this is important stuff, because our native bees and butterflies and birds and other animals are in a lot of trouble, you know, so we need to help them. And if you're looking for some purpose in your life, and so many of us are, because listen, I talk to retirees all the time, and they're bored and they feel that their life is meaningless, you know. Well, this is a good way to change that, you know, for the individual. So get out, get some fresh air. It's an absolutely beautiful day here at the end of July. You know, it's good for your brain, good for serotonin, the serotonin, the feel-good hormone. You know, there's so many advantages to this, and it's good physically. You know, I'm going to do a video on what's here before, and I have pictures of what was here before and what's here now, and it's like night and day. And there was no wildlife here before, you know. As I'm talking, a little skipper butterfly is on this Joe Pye reed, you know, and bees all around me. I hear a song sparrow singing. Here is a pearl crescent butterfly. It's just amazing. There was nothing here. There was nothing here. It was all mugwort, or if they mowed it, it was just mowed mugwort. It wasn't even lawn. So this is what you can do. So I hope you enjoy these videos. You know, leave me a comment. I really love to hear from you and get some ideas on what you're doing, or what you'd like to see me do, or information you'd like to have. You know, hit like and subscribe. You know, at this point, I don't have many subscribers. If you subscribe, it costs you nothing. Every time I post a video, it'll come up on your home feed. You know, so at least, you know, even if you don't want to look at it, you know I've posted something new. So okay. So hopefully I'm helpful to you, and you can be helpful to me, and we'll help each other. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.